Gamers, gals, non-binary pals. If there's one thing I love more than anything, it's Rosie. Aw, I love her. He's so nice. Anyways, the second biggest thing is hating. Who loves being a hater? Raise your hand, chat. Type 1 if you love being a hater. Nothing fuels me, like, internally more than just shitting on things justifiably. And finally, we have a thing where we can hate on. Before we get into today's video, I want to tell you guys about Summoner's Nexus. Again, taking inspiration from games such as Marvel Snap and Yu-Gi-Oh!, Summoner's Nexus is an indie TCG in early alpha that features a one-of-a-kind dynamic back-and-forth turn system, with both players taking turns simultaneously and neither player ever feeling completely shut out of the game or feeling like they're watching their opponent perform a cutscene while they're comboing off. Well, I've come to tell you about some new updates that they've put out. If you check their Kickstarter and website, they've actually put out special rewards, such as being able to design cosmetics, cards, and even receive Founders Packs. They're even beginning to fire a tournament circuit with prize support for those of you who are ready to take the plunge into the competitive scene. Please check out Summoner's Nexus at the link down in the description or by scanning the QR code on the screen. The game is completely free to download and play both on Android and on iOS, with a PC port coming in the near future. Thank you to Summoner's Nexus, and now back to the video. So, we have Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem, and release date was originally scheduled to be for June 12th, 2025. And it was a pretty cute set. It's not really that good of a set. I mean, like, most Battles of Legend sets aren't really designed to be like good sets, unfortunately, which is very, very funny that a lot of people on Twitter were like complaining about it. Where Scarlet's like, so quick breakdown of the stuff that's still missing in reprint now that we have the full set list. We have no Cashier reprints, no Bestial reprints, no Fiendsmith like reprints for stuff like Lacrima, I guess. No Dominus reprints for Impulse or Purge. We're missing some random imports. And then we got, you know, this guy. I think he's cool. He might see play in like a deck of sorts. But anyways, the TLDR is like, okay, the set does suck dog dick. Who gives a like? Let's not pretend like every other Battles of Legend set before this was you know, a good set. You know what I mean? What was the Battles of Legend before this? Battles of Legend. Wow, we had X-Talk Hydra and Tri-Edge Master and Puppet Rook and Duality. Remember when people tried to say that Duality was like the greatest card ever printed? When people were trying to say that like Duality was gonna be like the fucking next Jesus Christ of like making branded playable into making the deck even more unplayable than before. That shit was so funny. I feel so bad for anyone who's ever had the displeasure of playing branded. Anyways, you know, these sets aren't really designed to be like good sets. But, you know, they might contain, like, relevant reprints, allegedly. Again, when you look at, like, this, you've got, like, the Bestial Lubellion. There's only a QCR. You've got, wow, there's nothing. I like looking at this. There's, like, the Brave Adventure Engine, but that shit was, like, $10 max. What the fuck is an Xyz Bento? If a monster you control... This shit is ass, dog. New Ryziel support! We're in there! I think the most relevant card to have ever came out of this set was like exactly Tri-Edge Master. Cause it was just Coral Dragon / like Charge Warrior 2. Just fuck it, why not? So, anyone who got their hearts and hopes up for a Battles of Legends set, sorry, wait till November for the Megatons. Anyways, we got a bunch of new cards. And these are actually like pretty relevant cards. You know, they're not like that relevant, but they're pretty good. We had a bunch of Punk support in the new like Xyz and Fusion and like the main deck guy. We have Dingears. We have a bunch of new Orcus support with the Link 1 and the Link 5. We have the Dragon Maid. We've got the Chambers alt form. I'm pretty sure the only thing this set is gonna be used for though, from like a competitive standpoint, is like finally a Lordly Load reprint. By the way, guys, never say that you hate Blue Eyes more than me, because I have a Lordly Load that it's been through a couple incidents, one might say. This Lordly Load's it's been through a lot, some would argue. Anyways, TCG player near mint. Actually, no, we don't use that anymore. I don't know, Troll and Toad near mint. So, for the most part, this set is basically just like a rarity bump set for, you know, some Starlights, some random stuff. You know, it's cute. Whatever. We don't really care. Anyways, earlier today, slash like last night, a bunch of creators received sponsored product. Konami will do this where like certain creators will be like DZ will get box to open in order to make like whatever. Anyways, you may notice that that no European box opening exists anymore. And when you look at creators opening boxes, like, oh wow, here's a bunch of cards. Oh wow, here's a fabled card. Blah 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 blah. You know, usually expect to see like some high rarity stuff because you know it like looks cool. You know, like wow, the creator pulled like the chase card. However, you may notice that that DZ didn't pull anything. That's kind of weird. Did we miss something? No? Is Konami? Did we miss a little card? Doug being excited for fabled cards in this video. There's only one fabled card I respect, and his name is Fabled Lurie. So what's going on? We're missing the EU videos, which all got deleted. We're missing all the American videos are like very sparse and nobody pulled any Starlights. So what's going on? It's pretty weird. Well, we got this little tweet from Konami Europe a couple minutes ago. Product update. Unfortunately, the release date for Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem is being pushed back for most territories. There was a production problem that resulted in clumping of the Starlight rares into a portion of the print run. This would have resulted in more Starlights for some, but fewer Starlights for others. Production will be redone so the entire release is consistent, but will take time. The delayed release will affect Europe, Africa, the Middle East, and Oceania, as well as Spanish and Portuguese cards for Latin America. English affected cards for Latin America and Canada, and the United States are unaffected and will still have their originally announced release date. The revised street date for affected territories will be announced as soon as available. We will do everything we can to expedite this. Oh god, they took down the African unboxings. No! I can't open my fucking Monster Mayhem when I'm in Chad. No, I have to go to fucking South Africa. No! Okay, so what does it mean by clumping? They mentioned that clumping is a thing for Starlights. What does that mean? So, let's say in a box, you have about 24 packs. 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 12, 18, and 24. Every box should have 24. And let's assume that your pull rate is 1 in whatever it's called. The odds of you hitting a Starlight is 1 in 24. Is 1 in every 24 packs. Or like 1 per box. Now, clumping is a production issue where, for whatever reason, when the cards are cut and shuffled and whatever, some boxes will just have more. You know, sometimes there'll be 3, sometimes there'll be 5. And we saw this in some of the European openings, where a lot of them, where every single European opened like at minimum 1 to 3 Starlights, and every TCG player opened like, I don't know, nothing. Like, I don't think there was a single American creator who opened a Starlight, which is very, very funny. So obviously there was a big issue where basically all the Starlights in America basically got fucking smuggled into Europe. And as a result, because Monster Mayhem is a kind of relevant set due to the Punk cards and Orcus cards being like kind of meta viable, people are very, very upset that these cards, their release date is pushed back past certain nationals and like tier 2, tier 1 events. And obviously this is like very bad in regards to like the kind of, is thing legal versus thing not legal? We've got like Team Raid and Trade. Are reprints of the American prints, like Primites, etc., legal to use in Europe, even if Battles of Legend Monsters Mayhem is not released yet in the EU? And it's like, it might be, it might not be, because, you know, this set technically doesn't exist yet, so you can't use it over here, and it's like, One of the big things came from Kong's Cards, TCG. They made a little statement that said, as the vast majority of us have heard by now, Konami has delayed the Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem set for the entirety of Europe. This will be massively affecting the timeline of when we receive our stock. and we've informed that it may be over a month delayed. As such, we'll be canceling and refunding all the pre-orders made from singles from the set. Sealed product we will not cancel at this point. However, if you'd like to cancel, please contact us. And if you placed a whatever, unlucky. Sorry, we gotta cancel it. Which sucks. It is mainly just solo independent vendors who either are like buying directly from the distributor or like local game stores who basically have to just be like, well, I guess I'm just fucked for the next month. Because not only did they have to like refund a bunch of money that they definitely should have wanted to keep in regards to, you know, planning out future budgeting. But also it's just like, all right, I guess our money is just in a bigger hole now. Now what? It's not like you buy something to like fence over to a friend for like $1,000 and then like your friend is like, oh, I'm gonna be out of town for like 2 months. Just hold on to it for me. And like you haven't been paid yet. You're like, oh shit, like I kind of planned to have that $1,000 for like rent this month, you know what I mean? So you're kind of just like fucked. And obviously this is on like the way bigger scale in regards to like Kong's cards, where they are not only like we're like losing money in like this regards means like you're not only losing, you know, just like profits, but you're also losing like rent money, you're losing employee pay, you're losing the ability to like host tournaments profitably. It's very difficult. It's a very difficult situation, and like shame on you, Konami. That's bad. Do better. But yeah. Anyways, Konami, please don't ban me for this video. I don't want to get tat-simmed. This is all literally announced. You guys announced this. This is like you got all the product openings. None of this is a leak. Konami, please don't shoot me. Please don't ban me again. I'm waiting for my parole hearing. Please unban. I've been a good boy. But yeah. Ultimately, yeah, like, Serenity, you are correct. It is what it is. Let me know what your favorite Battles of Legend art card is. I don't know. My favorite's Blue Eyes, I guess? I don't know. I don't fucking play this game. I can't. I'm banned. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are on the situation. Let me know if you're sad now because you can't play Orcus for another month in Europe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye forever.